What's up, guys? International Coffee Day. So that's the promo for this weekend. So we bought up 700 containers of this Folgers Classic Roast for all you guys backpacking or hiking or keeping it in the car, whatever. This is 7 sticks of instant coffee. And I'm going to build a pocket, a pouch that fits around this. It will be Velcro backed, and you'll be able to use it for other stuff when you're done. You can put a hard drive in it, make a good little medical kit. Keep battery cards, stuff in it, whatever you want, anything this size. But we're going to ship them out with this, and you're going to get this pocket that you will see. We're going to build this. I call this a T pattern or a simple pouch. You can move these dimensions any direction and measurements you want to make it as big, tall, short, wide, whatever. And it basically just starts with 2 identical pieces, and we're just going to sew those together here, back to back. I did not hold this tail on this bobbin here, and it just wound up everything that was on the table.
Not even listening to your own advice, man.
I'm not even gonna try to do that one. We'll just start over again here. It's wrapped under here.
So is that just from not holding the tail and it just wraps it?
Yeah, the tail wraps around and it starts twisting, makes a loop, and then catches all. I just have all this trash sitting on the table here. Not trash, it's all stuff from sewing last night. But usually when we do one of these videos, I sterilize the table in case you just see all the shit sitting on here. But that's what happens, is it gets wrapped in there and twists around, and it'll eventually be covered by, you know, wraps of thread. It'll be fine until you get low on the bobbin, and then all that shit gets up there in that hook. So we'll just start back over from 0 here, and until you guys are really in the habit of it, just unthread when you change your bobbin. Just unthread your needle, hold this tail, get a few spins on there, and then apply pressure out, and it'll pull that tail off of there, and you're good. And that's all the shit from these videos that, like, a guy that sews, a lot of dudes will know that, but a lot of guys won't. Like, I don't know why, but for 20 years, I never thought to tie the thread up here and pull it through. I have no idea why that never came on my radar, but
You just find it in some random video?
I don't know where I found it or who said it to me, but it's just simple little shit like that, man, it'll save you, you know, hours of your life. We're just sewing these back to back, and I'm getting some puckering here. I'm gonna let my tension out a little bit. And you can also, where you're getting some pillowing, you can kind of pull in 2 directions and get this run kind of flat, and then pull here and just hold it between your index finger and your thumb as you're going. This bulb is screwed in, and the vibration makes that bulb come out some. This machine bounces a lot. It's got a lot of vibration to it.
It's got some torque.
It does, yeah. I missed that one a little bit. I cut this by hand pretty rough. This is the first final. I'm not even sure these dimensions are gonna work. I built one and then moved it where I thought I need it to be. I did forget edge tape, so I'm gonna grab some edge tape. All right, so we're going to, now that this pattern's back to back, sewn together, throw this edge taper on here. You can make a decision right now at this point whether you're gonna put your Velcro on first or your edge tape. And why would you one or the other? If you put your Velcro on first, it's gonna be cleaner with the edge tape across. But if you ever needed to replace that Velcro, you'd have to take the edge tape apart to do that. Not that it really matters. I mean, dudes are not really gonna rip that enough to wear the Velcro out. And if they do, they're probably replacing that pouch anyways.
You ever order more of those circle pieces?
Yep, sure did. They're like $20 a piece. We got 3 of them, remember I ordered 3?
Yeah.
We used every one of them. Ray was here the other day, we used all of them, so I ordered 3 more. I ordered a bunch of parts the other day.
Part number E41.
Yes, maybe on the schematic, but that schematic on that PDF was not hot clickable, it wasn't linkable.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like edge tape binder, I'm looking all kinds of like plate, and I don't remember what it was called, but. Now we're going to hem the edge in, and the less you can hem it, the smaller the hem, the less room it's going to take out of the pouch. Now you might want to make your pattern with the allotment that you actually fold it over a 1/2 inch, so you know it's easier, and especially if you're going to have employees that can't, you know, hem as small a hem as you can, you might want to adapt your pattern for them. Because we do see that. Like I'll build something once or twice and get it working. Once we give it to production, they'll do it, and then their pocket will be too small. Well, it's usually the hem. They can't get that fine of a hem. So from there, we're gonna take this, and I guess I better put this on before I get this thing all the way together and forget it. Put that Velcro in there. I actually did a post last week, and I said on Woodland, would you guys prefer to have OD, Velcro, and webbing, or would you prefer Coyote? And most of them said OD. I've always put the Coyote on. I think it looks better. Jeff likes the OD on there better too. So we're gonna hem this in, or we're gonna just sew this in right here. And this is what's gonna make your box on the bottom. This is not what I would call a boxed pouch. I don't know what the real term for it is, but this will do the same thing a lot simpler as doing a pouch that's actually boxed. Our mag pouches, most of them are actually boxed for our rifle mag pouches, which also is a lot more labor. So that right there's where you find center if you were putting a grommet in this. We are not going to put a grommet in this. And then from here, you can round your corners or do whatever you're gonna do. You could have that on your pattern also. A lot of stuff that we've done, we stopped cutting the round in there and we do it at production. Like our zippered knife pouches, we used to do them as an oval, and we just started doing them all rectangle, and what we found, it was easier for less skilled people to put them together, and it was faster for us to just cut them on the table once they're all together and everything's sandwiched, and then edge tape it. It's also much faster for our cutting department to cut out rectangles, because we can line everything up and we can rip everything in straight lines and then just separate them. Whereas when it was a curve, it took literally 3 times longer to cut anything that had curves on it. So it's faster to just, and we do everything, all of our curves are done off of a spool. So your corners can be 1.5, 1 1/4, whatever, both directions. Put your spool on there, and then all your radiuses are all the same. We do all those off the spool. Okay, there's that. That's the back Velcro. We'll figure that out in a second. We're gonna go ahead and edge this up. This is where we're gonna cover this all up. That bottom piece is sewn to the side there, which makes the box on the bottom. And you can do a couple things here with this edge tape. If you want to do really clean edge tape, get in the habit of folding it under when you start, and then terminating before you end and folding it under. This does not need that. We're just going to run it just a little bit long to get it going, and we're just going to run right in here, just like that. I'm pulling on the cordura, I'm applying tension to the cordura with my fingers, and that will make it curve that radius. If you're not really good at edge taping yet, also I'm running drag on the edge tape. But if you're not good at making those turns on that edge tape, look at them as 1 or 2 stitches at a time. So go 1 stitch, lift the foot, let the tension off, 1 stitch, lift the foot, and it will make that turn for you. And then we're just going to go a little long. Now on this pouch, we're not putting any crazy stuff in here. There's nothing sharp. I mean, who knows what they're going to put in there, but I'm not even going to fold the edge tape over and tack it because we're going to build hundreds of these. We're literally just going to hot knife these off. So same thing as this right here. We're just going to use a rope cutter to do them, but the same effect right there. So that's all we need. Now I'm going to run the second line in this. I'm also going to look here, do I have any crazy creases or anything? I don't. We're good. And when I do the second line, I'm not going to second line where this pouch is. I'm going to follow the same line. Once I'm past it, I'm going to kick over and put my second line where it's exposed. Again, when we come into this curve, do a couple stitches, let pressure off your foot, lift your foot up. That'll keep that from pushing that, and it will let that edge tape lay flat where it kind of wants to be, as opposed to where your foot is pushing that. And a lot of that will have to do with the downward pressure on your machine, what actual foot you have, stuff like that. So now we'll look at the other side. Do I need any more stitches here? Pretty good. Missed one here. I'm going to go ahead and come and start in that same line right there, and I'm just going to go ahead and follow this around and pay special attention to where I missed that right there, and then I'm going to terminate about right across even about where I started. I'm going to pull that thread up. I'm going to push down with my scissors, cut it clean. Same thing here. Push down. That will give you very, very little cleanup. So now we'll push this out, box this, and we're going to look at where this is going to fall on here. Where am I going to put this? Where is this going to sit? Let's go ahead and look at it with the box in there. And that's going to show me kind of where I want, where it's actually going to sit for real, and I want this about the center. So we'll freehand this one. If it works like we want, then we'll take our dimensions as to where this Velcro is going to go. Also, when you're building your pattern, you can take part of your pattern and cut templates out of the pattern so you can use them to draw. You can put a rectangle on here that where the pattern is skeletonized, trace it with a colored pencil, and then all you have to do is cover that smaller, just an 1/8 inch on each side smaller, cover that up with the Velcro, then you always know where the Velcro is. Because if you were relying on employees to measure something, number one, it takes a long time to measure 100 pieces. But you will find that if you got 10 employees, every one of them is going to measure it a little bit different, even though they use the same ruler. It just takes out that margin of error. And all of those little tiny processes add up if you're ever doing production stuff. You guys with lasers, your lasers will mark all of that shit. Velcro's on the front. Now we're just going to, and you're going to decide too when you do these box pouches. You want to push this up and push that down. Do you want it, you'll figure out where to make it fall. I've got this right where I want it. I'm going to needle strike about the middle, and I'm going to travel down. And then I'm going to travel up. Now I'm into the unstitched portion. I'm going to be very careful right here, paying attention to not let it shift. And then I'm going to tack it a couple times and come back to the center right there. Now, the other side, even though it will feel right, it might not be the same. The important part is that this side of the top be where this side of the top is. So I want to look, make sure that's the important part to me right here. Now we're going to follow this down and just push this to the edge as far as we can. Now what I mean by as far as we can, because I edge taped that the way I did, we're losing a little bit where it kicks in. I'll show you here in a second. When you look at the bottom of this pouch here, it's not sewn because where this kicked in, you've got this little gap right here. No problem, nobody's ever gonna know it's there. Does this fit? Yes, it does. Do I have enough coverage? I've already added to this twice, so that works. I'm probably going to make this lid though 1 inch longer, just because it will be a much more usable pouch to put things in, and it'll give them quite a bit more adjustment by adding that inch. But you'll see here exactly what this is gonna look like. This is just a pull tab. You can do your pull tabs however you wanna do them. You could do them out of 550. This is just 1 inch webbing folded over. I'm gonna tack this right here. You could be super fancy and sew this and then tack it this way. You could just hem this over so it's 3 layers here and sew this to the face. You can do whatever you want to do. We ain't doing none of that shit on this. This is a free pouch, and we're probably doing 700 of them on this promo code over the weekend. So we're just going to tack that in there. We're going to put this right here. You can also, I put mine on this where corner to corner meets corner to corner. You could come up to where this top edge meets the top edge, and then you could dock your corners. I don't want to have to cut these corners. And this pouch, the way I envision people using this is you can Velcro this to anything that has Velcro, but I especially picture them using them in our tool bags and our BBD bags and stuff like that. You could put it in your medical backpack. You could put it in any of our stuff where you want to hold something that will fit in this. It'll work for phone charger, battery blocks, and all kinds of stuff. So finished pouch, there it is. There's the back. You're gonna smack that wherever you want that thing. A lot of car carpet, vehicle carpet, Velcro will attach there, so you could do it for that. I am going to go ahead and put a label on here, because if I don't, they're gonna come to me Monday and be like, yo, where do we need the label? So we'll put the label right there. You open it up, boom, there it is. First thing you see is the label. When we do these in production, no matter what color thread we're sewing, when we go to put that label on, we will do it on black. It is much more forgiving, and if they are a little crooked or don't knit the same line, if you do black stitching on that black label, you will not see that I did not catch that same line. You can see mine right here. Does not overlap. Like if somebody gave this to us out of production, we would make them take this label off. And that's what I'm talking about. Whereas if it's black on black, you wouldn't see it. We'd still make them take the label off, but if they got through there somehow, you wouldn't see it. There it is, that's all it is.
So what do they have to order to get it?
I think the threshold's just $50. Every order, $50 this weekend. They use the code coffee or coffee day or whatever they're doing. They're gonna get this free pocket with 7 instant coffees, and they can throw the coffee in the trash if they want, but they get this free pouch, and they can use it for anything that they want to use it for.
I built this thing from the bottom, they tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a task, you can bet your ass I fulfill it. Yeah man, I'm talking about realest, one of the realest.